All right. Hi, everybody. I have lost the camera. That's the camera? Fantastic. I found the camera. I'm Taters. This is TASBot. And here we are at PGX. Real quickly, before we start, I just wanted to say, for those of you who don't know who we are, I'm going to give you a quick introduction, all right? What you've been seeing throughout this event is what's called RTA runs, real-time attack runs. That's where humans play games as fast as they possibly can. But what if you want to go faster, right? We're speedrunners. We want to just go as fast as possible. That's where we enter something called TASing, or tool-assisted speedrunning. What we do in a tool-assisted speedrun is we actually load the game up in an emulator and we run it frame by frame by frame, picking the most optimal input for that frame. This allows us to run games with 60 frames per second, pixel-perfect additions to the... ooh, there we go. We're already starting. Additions to the game. And we have a little donation incentive here before we get started. Every time I say or I want chat and the crowd out there to keep track, because for every and I'm going to donate $1. So that's going to be quite a financial burden here. So we're already up to 2, I believe, correct?
1 so far.
1 so far. All right. So, TASing, we can move frame by frame through the game. That's great on an emulator, but what if you want to see that on an actual console? That's where we enter something called console verification. TASBot does console verification. We have some special hardware that we plug into the console. TASBot plays back all the commands that were played on an emulator, and we play it on a real console. What that does is a couple of different things. First of all, it makes sure that the runs aren't violating any sort of, or manipulating any sort of bugs involved in the, every time I say it, I laugh. Bugs involved in the emulator. It also ensures that real-time attack runners, RTA runners, could actually use the strats. Now, in some scenarios, they can't. For example, if we push left and right on the controller at the same time, you can't do that on a controller. But what's real fun about that is it allows us to break games in fun, different ways. So what we're going to do today is a little different than what you may have seen of us. If you do know us, you probably know us from runs that you've seen at GDQ or MagFest or even across the world in ESA. Generally, we do things different. We tend to have things called arbitrary code execution, where we write our own code into the games and do really fun things. If you've ever seen the TASBot or the DS Brain Age run or some of our other Super Mario World hacks, that's normal. But that's not all we do. And tonight we're going to show a run that is common for us that just shows off very good gameplay. There's a little bit of swag because we're still TASBot, but not always. One thing that changes with this specific run is this is actually human viable-ish. It's a little bit more precise than what a human could do, but theoretically it could be done. With this one, we're not going to do any ACE, so we're not going to do any cloud skip in Bowser's Castle, if anybody knows that. That's just a little bit faster of a win at the end of the run. However, we're going to use an older run strat called ball skip, which you'll see as we get up. So if everybody is ready, this is going to be Super Mario Warps by Bruno Visnadi. Can I get a countdown while I send my posts?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and right off the bat here, you're going to see all kinds of things. First of all, if you didn't know, when you start a new game of Super Mario World, you can actually move on the beginning screen there. If you're fast enough, you can do that. You can do that yourself, or you can do 60 frame perfect inputs in a second and make Mario spin around like he's dancing. So as we get in here, we're going to be moving through a lot of levels very quickly, so just bear with me as I try to keep notes going here with you. First level here, Yoshi's Island 2, we're going to be doing something called sprite manipulation. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving some berries around, and that's going to overwrite the sprite buffer within the game. What that allows us to do is fill that buffer up so that we can't actually spawn any more sprites, and they overwrite a different sprite. So that green shell in Yoshi's mouth is about to be overwritten with the gold ticker tape at the end because of all that movement. So what will happen is he'll spit it out, it'll get turned into the ticker tape and come right back in, and we'll end the level in 3, 2, 1. Wow, a little bit off there. There we go. We're already done with Yoshi's Island 2. We're going to move on here to Yoshi's Island 3. In Yoshi's Island 3, we're going to use something called a block duplication list. This is actually, or block duplication glitch. This is actually RTA viable as well. A lot of runners will do this. You'll see a little bit more swag as we left, right on every frame and clip through things, because whenever we have some downtime, we do like to play. What we're going to do here is we're going to get to a point where we start duplicating blocks that pop up. Those blocks are eventually right here going to override that Yoshi coin. When you overwrite the bottom of a Yoshi coin with the block, it spawns a block that has wings for Yoshi right here. In this level, when Yoshi goes up to the top, all you have to do is stop out of the level, and you've beaten the level. Moving right along here into Yoshi's Island 4, this whole level is a setup for 4 seconds at the end. We're going to stun it. We're going to spawn a P-switch. We're going to stun it. Stunning the P-switch spawns a fish. That's going to do a double tongue glitch, which spawns a Reznor. The Reznor is invisible, so as soon as the Reznor comes in, Yoshi's tongue eats it. As the game finishes that Reznor, that's off that little spinner, Yoshi eats the Reznor, and we end the level. I told you this would be moving fast.
It really is flying.
So one of the things here is that the castle is actually so slow that we can go play another level instead of beating it. So we're going to do something here called the orb glitch. And this is a very common glitch that's done in a lot of different runs. We're going to spawn an orb item into our item slot there at the top, that little blue circle square, rounded corner square. What that does is as soon as you touch the orb, you complete the level. Because that castle is so slow, we can come here, spawn that orb icon, and die in this level, just like that. Have that item up, stored in our buffer, go all the way back, and just pop that item immediately and finish the castle. So this is how everybody should beat East Castle. This is how I beat it personally as well. Ready, and we're done. Just like that. How are we doing, Donuts?
You are up to a total of $8 so far.
Wow. If I don't get above 25, I'm going to do at least 25.
I think everyone would love that.
So here we go up to Donut Plains. This is actually going to be just the same route that most RTA runners run. Very similar, however, because we're TASBot, we're going to do a little bit of swag. The cape in Super Mario World is a completely broken item. It's one of my favorites in the game, and it's a lot of runners' favorites. So all we're doing here is just having some fun flying around. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab a key at the very end of this level, and we're going to put it in the keyhole, and that's going to finish level for us and unlock the secret levels. The secret worlds that are available are the ones that allow you to get to Star Road, and that's going to help us beat this much quicker. So there we are, we're done there. We're in Donut Secret 1. More swag here. We're going to push left and right on every frame, which is what makes Mario just spin back and forth really fast. This is actually another RTA viable run, but not as fast as this. What we're going to do is we're going to spin. We're going to grab... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit off of my list here. What we're actually doing is left and right every frame. Then we're going to grab the shell. The shell is going to help us spin just a little, or swim just a little bit faster. We take that shell, we're going to bring it over here, and we're going to use it to hit the question mark block. That's going to let the key spawn, and we're going to put it right in the keyhole, and we're moving on to Donut Secret House. Another fun one. We're just going to clip through the steps here for fun and profit, because we're TASBot, and we just do whatever, whenever. It saves a little bit of time, though, right? We didn't have to go up and come back down. We're going to pick up a P-switch and drop it, because we don't actually need it, but hey, it's there. It was in the way. What we're going to do here is we're going to grab a P-switch over on the left here, and we're going to jump off of it in the air. It's a frame-perfect trick that allows us to get just a little bit more height, jump above the level, and that activates the boss fight. That's where the boss door is. In here, because this is basically an auto-scroller, we're just going to have some fun movement, using the cape, bouncing around, moving these blocks around. But all we're looking to do is just hit the ghost here with 3 of these blocks. And there's our third. And as soon as we land, the level is over. Now, once you beat Donut Secret House, this is the earliest time you can get onto something called Star Road, which was supposed to be harder levels at the end of the game that you would beat. This also allows you a really quick trip to get over to Bowser's Castle. So we're going to start out here in Star World 1. You can actually do this in real life, even not as a speedrunner. Only 4 of these blocks can spin at a time. So when 4 are spinning, Mario gets clipped into a solid surface. And when Mario clips into solid surfaces, he's pushed down. So you can even by accident discover this little speedrunning trick on your own. Try it yourself. Here we are back in another underwater level. Underwater levels are slow, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. Another similar route to RTA. But you will note that on every major note in the song, TASBot is spinning. You can hear that. This is in my opinion, the closest our friend TASBot gets to dancing. So we can all just enjoy that for a moment. Once we get up underneath here, we'll just find the exit right here at the end. Same as all, we're grabbing a key and putting it in the slot. Off we go. A little bit of swag to drop Yoshi and have him come with us. He doesn't come with us overall, but he was there for the moment. Now, this one is also very similar, but a TAS-only thing is where we're going to bonk that purple block. It's so fast. Hits the question mark block just a couple frames faster than we could do it ourselves, and allows us to get the key and bring it over. Here we are, again, just abusing the heck out of our cape. We're going to do a lot of swaggy flight, and at some point here, we're going to actually grab a shell. That's going to give us just a little bit more speed. But again, the developers put this cape in, and we just abuse it. All runners do. Most people in their own playthroughs do. We'll use that shell as well to grab our key here and right into the keyhole.
You've hit $10 at this point.
Yes! I'm getting worse at public speaking for charity. All right, it's been about 5 minutes, so we haven't seen Bowser. So let's go knock on his front door and see what he's been doing. We're going to do a couple of really quick tricks here. The first thing we're going to do in door 2 is we're going to preserve our flight into here because it's faster to fly than to climb, but you couldn't get flight on that little pattern. So we do that there. We're actually going to do the same thing and preserve it into 5. That's going to allow us to spin into these and get some iframes. That allows us to get just a couple of these cycles further and saves us from getting losing our cape in that beginning. Here, just like in RTA runs, we're going to do this in the dark. All of these are deterministic. They always stay where they're going to be, so most RTA runners just run it without the lights on. Now here we are at Bowser. Now, as I said, we are not going to be doing Cloud Skip. Cloud Skip would allow us to beat this much faster, but that is considered arbitrary code execution, which would not be in the spirit of this run. However, we're going to do an older strat called Ball Skip. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of swaggy flight, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to maintain one of the Mecha Koopas that Bowser throws out. He throws out 2, we'll bop him with 1, and we'll grab the second one and we'll maintain it through these different transitions. This allows us to kill Bowser quicker and also skips the ball that he's about to do here because you can hit him when he comes up and it just doesn't do it. So here's some more swaggy flight as well as all of these fires. Now these flames, I apologize, are deterministic. They're always going to be in the same spot. So we can fly around and flirt with disaster there, but TASBot is completely safe. Princess Peach is here to help us by giving us a mushroom we didn't need or want. So we're going to play with that too. A little bit of juggling really goes a long way in this game. So while we're taunting Bowser, because we can't hit him with a Mecha Koopa at this moment, we're just going to bounce around. There we go. There's Ball Skip. We used that Mecha Koopa to turn the ball into a frog, I think that was. Didn't know there were frogs in this game. And now we're going to juggle a little bit until Bowser helpfully gives us the tools of his own demise. Here we go. Another hit. Made the cloud cry there for a little bit. So we're bouncing around. A little bit more juggling. We got one more hit, I believe, to finish this. Whoever is on time. Time will be the second that Princess Peach appears. So the frame that she appears is time. Not this one. After we beat Bowser. Sorry about that. I'll get my timings right. I forgot that we need to juggle some mushrooms for a moment. So we're going to juggle those around. We're going to get our Koopa. Bowser's going to turn upside down. And time. And that's it. That's how you're supposed to play the game, I think. Anyway, that is Super Mario World Warps by Bruno Visnadi. Got a couple of thanks here real quick before I run away. Bruno Visnadi is the writer of the run. Very much. Thank you very much. Just going to stumble over my own words here on camera. Master June and GlitchCat7 helped me with the commentary for this as well. Master June, if you do any tassing, Master June is in every single run. Never gets their name said enough, so thank you, Master June, once more. I want to thank the TASBot community just for helping us out, getting us to these events, helping us find our way around. Stump and the staff here, including Sonic.
Omega Sonic.
Omega Sonic, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for hosting us. Steel City Speeders as well for hosting us. And PGX for giving us the room to show this off. I've been Taters, this is TASBot. Thanks a lot for watching.